Hey everybody, and welcome to an episode of Falcon Plays Dark Souls 2. I'm calling it an episode, not what I usually start off with, because what you're hearing right now is a product of post-commentary, which is something I'm not too crazy about. I don't think I thrive too well in the post-commentary, I guess, aspect of Let's Plays, mainly because I have a tendency to ramble on a bit, so usually when I do my recordings and everything, everything's going on at the same time, so half of my brain, I should say, is kind of focused on trying to keep people slightly entertained to a degree, while the other half is basically focusing on what's going on in the gameplay. Right there I kind of took a little bit of a sidetrack, so I got a wilted dusk herb right there. Be sure to keep an eye out for that little tortoise type of dude there that's gonna spray you with some sort of mist. I guess it's kind of like a defense mechanism for him, right? I know a lot of creatures in real life do that. You know, they're a little bit terrified, they spray to kind of dissuade invaders and like possible threats, kind of like skunks. That's what skunks do. They spray you in a very misleading fashion here. Well, I guess I got that item already for some reason. I was pretty sure I hadn't gotten it before, but whatever. Either way, what happened was that I went through this area. It's gonna be a little interesting sidetrack I'm gonna mention about that soon. What happened was I went through this area, I recorded, as you can see right there. However, I somehow forgot to not record my commentary, so you'll forgive me if this is a little bit different than what you're used to. I'll try to keep it strictly into what's going on in-game, otherwise I tend to have a tendency to ramble on a bit there. So Shrine of Amana, though, really interesting area. It's probably my favorite area of the game. Maybe along with Dragon Eyrie or Dragon... well, not Dragon Shrine. I fucking hate Dragon Shrine for reasons that you'll see and soon hear in a future video. This is going to be, as of right now, I'm done with Dark Souls 2. I finished all the rest of the game. This is something that I now have to go back and actually do commentary knowing now that I beat the game. What I wanted to focus about Shrine of Amana, though, is that hopefully, assuming I get the audio levels correct, there should be somebody singing in the background, a very harmonious type of tune and whatnot. Right there, I was trying to shoot that right there. What those little fireflies do is that they put those monsters to rest, to sleep. They ease the monster's pain. Because they are considered, I guess, dead, you know, just like some sort of really weird fucking creature, right? That what the Shrine of Amana does is that there are a few people here that actually sing to keep these monsters at rest, basically ease them and whatnot. That's the reason why that you'll notice a little bit of fireflies around these actual creatures in the video. At the moment, when you saw that one actually went aggro on me is because the singing stopped. The reason the singing has stopped is because I am kind of circling this little stone hut or shack. I guess it's not a shack, right? Because a shack would probably mean it's
We knew you were coming, and stopped singing. We are Milfanito. We are here to sing to those bound by death and dark. We will sing here, forever, as we always have, from long, long ago. We know nothing of the world outside, and why should we?
I'm not sure what I'm doing there. I guess I was checking out the music volumes and the sound effect volume, so apologize for that still being there. Oh, now you're gonna put the volume up, the voice volume up, Falcon. Alright, good. A little bit too late in the Let's Play for that, bro, but okay. Milfanito, what that individual there is basically they were created by the one who brought the first death. If you want to get really technical about it, it could be a creation by Nito, of all people, which is kind of awkward. It seems something more of a, like, I guess Damsel's creation seemed a little bit more something along something that Seat would do, but she mentions the first death, which is honestly something that, if you remember Dark Souls 1, is something right up along the lines of Gravelord Nito. So basically they sing to keep those fireflies above these creatures, for instance, to like bring them rest and harmony and all that other stuff, right? Once they stop singing, obviously the fireflies, or quote-unquote the little ones, don't dance anymore to keep these guys at rest. Once you remove yourself a bit away from the shack, though, the fireflies do return, meaning that, you know, they're singing once again and these creatures are calm and at ease here. This area over here is going to prove to be a little bit, unfortunately, a downfall for me because I do make the mistake of getting careless, and one of the biggest things you can do in Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Demon Souls is getting careless. I obviously have a ranged attack, right? As you can see, I've over here been shooting stuff. I feel like suddenly I'm playing like a Call of Duty game or something. What's pretty cool right there is that you saw how I shot that guy from afar and then the fireflies slowly started to disperse away. Well, That's a really interesting little extra thing here. And this is where I kind of got a little bit jacked up. And whereas that I actually have a range attack, and yep, there it is, there's the death. I actually have a range attack, right? And it's something I've learned in Dark Souls is that you want to fight. I already killed these guys on the cutback over here, by the way. If one thing you won't know about Dark Souls is that you don't want to ever get in a situation where you're getting outnumbered. I know that Dark Souls 2 is really a prevalent force in giving you a lot of situations where you're fighting a bunch of enemies at once. And that's what kind of makes the game more difficult than it should be, because a lot of people claim that Dark Souls 2 is easier than Dark Souls 1, and I kind of agree with that, except once they start fucking you over with like 70 enemies, and that's one of the big, I guess, detractors from Dark Souls 2 compared to 1, where people are like, yeah, it's hard, but not because of the reasons Dark Souls 1 was hard, it's because, you know, they always want to give you like all these enemies to deal with. This tortoise here needs to fucking relax, Snail dude. I'm trying to snipe those guys over there, obviously, alright? Good. Kill him, get your life gem, do whatever you have to do past Falcon. Or recorded Falcon, I should say. This little area right here, as you can see, the fireflies above them, so they're not even aggro whatsoever. I wonder if you could even just walk in there and open this chest without aggravating anybody. I've never tried it before because I'm too much of a pussy to do that. But, you know, obviously I used my range to kind of take care of most of them right there. So, going back to that death, though, with the Archdrakes, they're rocking the cleric uniform, by the way, so if you started off as a cleric in the game, you would be having their wardrobe. At least their robes, not the gloves and helmet, obviously. But I basically got a little bit careless. There's going to be a guy right there, yep, so you might want to roll through that. What I got hit right there was a homing soul mass, I do believe is what that's going to be called. Shrine of Amana, this is a patch version of Shrine of Amana, unfortunately. I went through this before they decided to patch this area because it was too difficult for a lot of people. A lot of people were complaining that it was a bullshit area, and I agree, but at the same time, one of the things that I harped on was that I always like to have a ranged attack in Dark Souls no matter what. You know, ever going back since Demon Souls, it's taught me to, you know, don't focus on too many enemies at once. If you could pull enemies one by one, you'll have a better chance of success. And that's what I lacked to do when I died to those Archdrakes right there. I was too focused on the creatures in the water that were, you know, sleeping. Where was that homing soul mass going? Oh boy, that was a crazy whiff right there. But yeah, basically I got too distracted by the creatures in the water, and then both of the Archdrakes aggroed on me, and I kind of a little bit freaked out a bit, and I couldn't deal with, you know, two of them at once. And then somehow I ended up attacking one of them, but then I guess my attack reticle or cursor moved to the other dude, and then suddenly I was fighting the other guy instead of the first one, and the first one, you know, took me down and whatnot. But that's the reason why that I always love to have a ranged attack, especially as a melee character in Dark Souls, because, you know, you want to kind of put yourself in a situation where you're going to be dealing on one-on-ones as opposed to, like, you know, 1-on-7s or something, or apparently 1-on-2s, which is more than enough to do me in. There's going to be a few of those creatures in this area as well. Not as profound as many as they were in the start, but there's a few, and you'll be able to see them. The firefly, or the singing, actually stops in this area a bit after a while, too. So definitely keep your eye on the water and see if there's any sort of movement going on there, and you'll be able to take care of these guys. So not a really big concern. Oh God. Alright, this is a really good one. I tried my damnedest to jump on this fucking ledge over here, and spoilers, I don't make it at all. Yep, can't do it, Falcon. Try it again. Yeah, try it again. Nope, can't even jump. You have to jump. Yep. Nope, that's not gonna work as well. This is like watching a Dark Souls rendition of White Man Can't Jump with Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson. It's like, you know, Woody, you can't jump. Oh, and if you did jump, you're still gonna botch it somehow. Because Woody Harrelson does finally dunk in, you know, White Man Can't Jump. Spoilers, by the way. Now, the reason why I was trying to jump up there is because if you go up that little ledge, I guess, or fallen bridge, whatever the fuck you want to call it, to the top, if you look down, you'll be able to see that Pharaoh's Lockstone key area that I just put the Lockstone in, because I knew where it was, but I wanted to get up there to give you guys a perspective of it. And it will let you see what's down there below a lot easier. But if you open or use a Pharaoh's Lockstone right there, you'll get the Helix Halberd, which, honestly, I'm a big Halberd fan, but, alright, not like a halberd weapon, not the actual gem halberd. I like how I went back there, like, you know, and kind of gave that shit the finger. It's kind of like, yeah, right, dick. I don't need you to know where the Pharaoh's Lockstone is, after all. I'm a big Halberd fan. I'm a big Office fan, so I guess I'm also a Jim Halberd fan, but I'm talking about, or Halpert? It's Halberd, right? Yeah. But I'm a big Halberd fan in-game, obviously. I'm rocking the Black Knight Halberd here. The Helix Halberd, though, it's something that I've played with a bit, and I honestly didn't like it. Didn't like it whatsoever. I upgraded it a little bit. Maybe it's, I guess, really true power comes when you upgrade it the whole way, a certain amount of stats. I don't know, man. I played around with it. I wasn't too crazy about it. I just rather stick to my halberd. And if anything, maybe even use the Santir spear, but not really crazy about the Helix halberd there. So if you're trying to, you know, conserve lockstones in this area, I'm not sure why you would at this point, but if you wanted to save some lockstones, you could definitely skip that one. I don't really see an upside to the Helix halberd whatsoever. Now, Shrine of Amana, I mentioned it was patched, right? Before it got actually patched to make this a little bit more easier for players coming through the area, you're supposed to roll through that Falcon, not just take it in the chin. It was a lot more harder, I guess. What happened, I'm not sure if they removed, I feel like they probably removed a few of the sorcerers shooting the hole masses at you, but ultimately what they did was make it so that they either had less HP, and also the soul mass itself is doesn't track as well as it does now. I mean, it still tracks alright, but it's not as bad as it used to be. And I don't know, I went through Shrine of Amana, oddly enough, listen to this guy. I went through Shrine of Amana without dying. Again, I used my bow appropriately, because I was a melee character my first time around. So I used my bow appropriately and everything went fine, but apparently this time around I, decided to die. But, that's basically carelessness. Like, the thing about Dark Souls is that once you've beaten a few times, you're just kind of like, oh yeah, I got this under the bag, everything's all good to go, right? And then you forget about the extra steps of precaution you would take on your first time around, and it's kind of like, that's how you get some of the bullshit deaths that you run into. I mean, a no-death run is something that's easily feasible, but you just have to be extra careful about the whole situation. You can't just be too winning about this. Unicorn Gargoyle there, he's in a leash over there, so he's going to do a little bit of song and dance with us. Unfortunately for him, the Milfinito, the NPC that we talked to in that shack, I'll talk about them a bit more. There's actually more than one in the game. And we're going to run into another one at the end of this area, by the way. Let me get a bit of coffee here. Yeah, so that Unicorn Gargoyle actually leeches, so he can't come at you from that point. And it's a good thing. You want to fight that guy from afar because you don't want to deal with those gargoyles in a close-to-close combat in the water. That's not the only one in this area. We'll deal with one more before we're done here. But you definitely don't want to deal with those guys up close because obviously when you're walking in water, you get a movement penalty, I should say. So you can't necessarily row as, gracefully or swiftly, whatever you want to call it, against them. Meaning that they're going to fuck your shit up because, they hit hard for one, and number two, they obviously could grab you and just kill you instantly. I'm pretty sure you die instantly from that grab attack. I don't think I've ever survived it, even with a lot of HP. I mean, this current character that I'm playing right now, I don't think I've even upgraded much of my HP. I think I'm like at 15 stamina, or is it vigor? No, not stamina, obviously. It's either vitality or vigor. Ever since they switched up the stats for equipment load, it kind of throws me off a bit here. But I have really low HP. As you can see, my endurance bar, if anything, is actually almost close to my HP bar there. And it might almost be the same, if not for the small size reduction to it. I'm going through this area because there are a few good items to grab, like the Estus Flashlight. If you're looking to max your Estus Flashlight, you don't want to miss this one. This is an area that normally you don't have to go through, but if you're interested in this, yeah. If you're interested in the Sunlight Blade, which I know a lot of people are going to be, you definitely want to go through here, and also the Estus Flashlight isn't really nothing to sneeze at as well. The only thing I could really, I guess, recommend you guys to do is to either A, have a good light source with you. By what I mean by that is like carry a torch when you're going through that little area right there, or just take a look at the floor the whole time, because there's going to be a lot of, I guess, falling off obstacles or, deterrences in that way to the flask and the actual Sunlight Blade. That little area right there, you could guide yourself by the pillars, but at one point they try to trick you where it's like you're going through the left side and then you realize the left side cuts off from floor, and then the right side ends up getting more, I guess, some more retail or more lot for you to actually walk in. So definitely keep a look on the bottom. And over here we're going to deal with, I think my next debt, right? Because I'm a fucking imbecile. So cool, I dealt with the Archdrake quite handily. And I was so intent in getting that goddamn helm that I was like, yeah, let me just go ahead and take that, soul mass to the face. And then secondly, because I don't practice Santeria, I don't have no crystal ball, that soul mass just hit me in the face, But one day, I plan to have $1 million, and I won't spend it all. Yeah. You know, if anything, you should just be grateful that I didn't sing that Sublime song. Just because, number one, I don't know, Sublime, you know, you could be a Sublime fan, it's all good, but, yeah. I feel like that was like, you know, baby's first introduction to music or something. I don't know, it was really big when I was in middle school and high school. Middle school and high school, Sublime. God, I am such an old man. But either way, once you deal with them appropriately, they shouldn't be an issue. Again, that was just me, again, being careless. Number one deterrence in Dark Souls, being completely careless. I easily could have waited inside of the shack to regain a little bit of my health, but instead I wanted to deal with this area as fast as possible. Because I do like it, but at the same time I was trying to rush almost this area so I could, you know, get on with the rest of the game and finish the series already. That I was like, fuck it, I can't wait an extra 5 seconds, I'm gonna deal with that mage now, and unfortunately, and then killing us, you know? So over here I am doing the proper way we should be doing stuff, which is drawing enemies. I saw that Archdrake from far away, I shot him a few times, and did I kill him, or did this guy just fucking disappear into the abyss? Who knows? I think I killed him. That or he fell in a hole, who knows? But there was also this guy here, so you definitely want to keep an eye out for this soul mass dude. And there's one more. This motherfucker over here is going to be the bane of my asshole. Now, the one thing I noticed that I didn't do here, I think I just shot one finally, right? I'm pretty sure I did. The one thing that I didn't do here, which is, you know, probably really recommended, at least in my state of affairs, is to actually use your poison arrows. I've been using my poison arrows diligently the whole time during this game so far. But once we acquired the, I guess the ability to actually buy the soul arrows from Gablin, or at least the unlimited amount, because, you know, you could buy a few in the first 2 meetups. I think it's like only 60 though, but at the end, once you finish his little quote-unquote quest, you'll be able to get unlimited amount of poison arrows, which are really, really helpful. I'm really surprised I didn't die here. This is calling it really close. Yep, shoot that. Be careful, roll through that. Do I die here? I don't think I did, but I'm starting to... Well, I'm starting to question me because I know I can't keep up this dodging too long. It's kind of really impressive to me. Okay. This is our fucking battle to the dead right here. Who's gonna win? Is it Falcon? Is it the sorcerers? My money's on the sorcerers because apparently I can't get one shot off over here. Is that it? There you go. Basically, what I was trying to get at here is imagine how much more easy that would have been had I actually used my poison arrows appropriately and properly. So before you finish with this area, you're going to deal with 2 more, well actually only 1 more, because remember, we drew on 1 Archdrake earlier. Because, you know, you got to use the draw distance to your advantage at the time. What that's happening right there is that last sorcerer back there isn't really a sorcerer, it's more of a cleric. It doesn't have any sort of offensive spells, it's just all healing abilities. So, as that fucker was running to us, he actually was being healed by that cleric back there. And now the cleric's just gonna kind of walk at us, which is kind of weird. Look, her arms are kind of out like, you know, what, you want some of this? Which is, you know, this fucking cleric has the balls of steel. Because look at this shit. Look at how she's walking around. It's like very taunting where it's kind of like, what do you want? And it's like, what are you gonna do? You don't have an offensive spell. You don't even attack me with your fist. It's really impressive. So, you know, I figured I would entice her clowning of me and her mockery by just taking my weapon off and just punching her to death, which I did. So there you go. This is basically the... Would I even call this section the hardest part? I guess this would be the hardest part. The first area is relatively easy, even though I died to it. This is the part where most people complain about, which is a lot of casters and everything, which is understandable. If you go over to this side, however, you do have the chance to fight that other gargoyle, unicorn gargoyle that I talked about. I'm not sure what to call him, a unicorn or a gargoyle. Here's my thing. He has 1 eye, obviously. Or is it not gargoyle? I'm a fucking imbecile. Is it a gargoyle? No, it's an ogre. A cyclops. There we go. I've been calling him a gargoyle this whole time, right? Forget what I'm saying. This is the reason why I shouldn't be doing post-commentary. Because even though I should be able to get these things correctly now, you know, my ridiculous brain will kind of step in and be like, nope, post-commentary or not, you're still gonna make stupid errors. I'm not sure if this guy would be considered a Cyclops or a Unicorn because, yeah, it's 1 eye, right? So you're thinking Cyclops. But he has a little small protrusion on his head, a little small unicorn horn. It's really small, I mean. I don't know, I like to think of it as 2 things. But, again, this motherfucker has all the HP in the world. That's the reason why these guys are dangerous, right there. I was able to dodge through it, thankfully. But, obviously, because of your limited mobility in the water. Kind of like Lady in the Water. Is Lady in the Water an M. Night Shyamalan film? I want to say that it is, but I can't be too sure. We got the singer's dress right there in the life ring. The singer's dress is actually the dress that the MILF Anitas are wearing in this area. The one that we get is a little bit more tattered than the one that the first Milfanita in the area had. But we also got the life ring +2. Honestly, at this point, the life ring +2 is not gonna be a substantial ring for anybody, I don't think. Even with limited HP, there's really a ton more rings that you could probably wear that will do a lot more for you than the life ring +2. At least, honestly, I have no... Holy shit, what the fuck was that? Where did you come from? I'm not gonna lie, that scared me a little bit right now. It didn't even scare me, it kind of startled me a bit. And that actually scared me on the actual run-through. I remember kind of screaming a bit and being like, ah, ah! And, you know, apparently that's how I scream when I'm scared. Ah, ah! Which is, I don't know, sounds like more like, you know, somebody with Tourette's or something. Not that I'm making fun of Tourette's. Before you go in through the fog gate, though, there's gonna be another item over here. And be very careful when you go over here, because Soul of Hero, Divine Blessing, all good. However, what I'm walking on right there is really limited in terms of what's actually below our feet, I should say, anyway. So be very careful about that one. As you can see, this area is, you know, could be a pain in the ass if you just want to run through it and rush it through it. It's totally possible. It's just a little bit more daredevil, a little bit more risk taker, which is okay. But at the same time, it's completely doable. The reason why this is going to be a longer video for this episode is because I wanted to get everything in the Shrine of Amana. Number one, I really do like the atmosphere in general. The enemies are assholes, obviously, but I really do like the music and the atmosphere altogether. And there's also a lot of secrets here, which is obviously a perfect spot for FromSoft to actually put a lot of extra items and secrets in, because, you know, it's a place that obviously we're gonna, you know, beat the shit out of a lot of people's asses. And right there is a good example as to what I mean, where you should avoid that poison mist from those individuals, because it broke, it seemed like it broke my headgear and my robe. Yeah, that's what it broke, right? Yeah, those two items. And it's understandable why that happened so easily, because I am using the Prisoner's Tatters, I do believe, along with the Prisoner's Hood, which don't have that much defense, for one. Number two, low durability, sorry for that. But they actually increase your item discovery rate, which is something that I always really... I can't play Dark Souls fashion too much, unless I'm at PvP or something. But when I'm playing the game regularly, it's hard for me to go through Dark Souls fashion, because I always have a knack where I want to have the highest discovery rate imaginable, because I love grabbing the items. I love seeing who drops what suddenly. It's really entertaining to me to see. Because, you know, there's a lot of lore aspect in what's going on there. Falcon, what are you standing around for? Alright, we're back. Are you alright, Falcon? Are you moving now? Okay, Falcon's alright. I guess I had like a... I don't know, I went to, like, my brain just had an aneurysm and I went to a coma for some reason. If you go down through this side, you can deal with that, mage sorcerers, and that's a good idea to do so, because otherwise she'll start sniping you when you go into that next area. Now, this is an area where a lot of people do just wind up rushing through the rest of this area, because it's quite easy to run through the rest of these sorceresses and enemies in there. Number one, all the enemies in the water are actually already calmed by the and poison's gonna take care of that individual. Oof, that was a really close. That was quite fucking terrifying. Yeah, most of the... Oh, yeah. Yep, I remember that one. So what did I mention about carelessness? And secondly, always watching your surroundings, especially in Shrine of Amana. So for some reason, I felt to just walk through that and kill myself there. I guess just to go to show that it doesn't matter how many times you play Dark Souls 2, you're always viable for fucking errors. And I guess I'm glad to say that's probably the last death we'll see in this video. So you'll apologize for that awkward runoff there. That was really weird. This is the reason why the... Oh, we have the invader over here too. So yeah, this area is not devoid of any, like, last fuck yous by the developers, obviously. Not only do you have to deal with Shrine of Amana, all these... Oh yeah, and of course the invader is also a fucking magician too, that shoots homing soul messes at you. However, I found a way to deal with him quite easily. He's gonna come after you, for sure. So don't even go after him, because obviously he's gonna have the advantage, because, you know, you're limited mobility for one, and number two, he has the homing spells. So if you walk behind one of those pillars, as I did, and just kind of hang out, he'll come at you, and then it gives you the perfect opportunity to actually attack him, stun him a bit, and, you know, get rid of him, and whatever you have to do there. Over here, I think I was just, give me 1 second here. Apologies. Kind of dealing with a small semi-cold here, so I didn't want to exactly hawk into the microphone here and gross everybody out. What was I trying to get at, though? Yeah, I was playing it really careful here. Oh. Right there I freaked out and I removed my bow. That's the trick, by the way. Some of the fireflies dispersed, but there was actually no enemies in that area, so, and there's no enemy right there either, so... if you've been paying close attention to the environment so far, and you've realized that wherever there's a firefly in the game, it means there's an enemy kind of being resting or whatever, I think that's a really good, kickoff by the developers, where it's kind of like, there's really nothing here. We just made you believe that there was like a shit ton more of these enemies in this area than there has to be. I mean, sure, there's still a lot of them, but not as many as you think. Right here, too, be very careful with, dredging around this area. You'll get the homing crystal soul mass, which is quite ideal considering all the soul mass bullshit we've gone through right now. And I think we're done with this area, right? We're just probably gonna head through the boss fog gate real soon. One more enemy waiting for us right there, no big deal. I guess I killed that. There was one more sorceress that we just ran through right there. Her body was already on the floor, so I guess we killed her from far away with our ranged attack, obviously. And that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it. This is Shrine of Vamana in a nutshell. No, this is me in a nutshell. No, none of that stuff. No Austin Powers reference right now. So let's get your ass through this door. And here's the other Milfanita that I talked about. This one, I tried to get a good zoom in here. I probably should have zoomed in with my bow. I did. All right, good job, Falcon. This is essentially the singer's dress that we picked up by killing the second unicorn, Cyclops. This is basically a good representation of the singer's dress that we got. I wouldn't advise attacking her. I think you can, but don't do it. If you talk to her along with the first one, and the one in Dragon Lake Shrine, or Dragon Lake Castle I should say, and I think there's a fourth one if I'm right, I could be wrong. But if you talk to all of them, then, I think it's still you have to talk to 3 of them. The one in the castle, the one in the start, and then this one. And then you'll get a few items from them and whatnot for, you know, not killing them and being a total douchebag about the whole situation. And here it is, Demon of Song, which is essentially the culminative point of this area. Demon of Song, relatively easy. There's what trick to this boss battle, however. I really enjoy this boss battle, like the atmosphere around is really fucking badass. The whole singing is pretty cool. Basically the lore behind the Demon of Song is that this fucking creature, with its beautiful siren's call, is what's leading most of the people to come over here. And like, you know, basically think of it as like the siren's call from, you know, I guess marine lore or whatever you want to go with here. But even though it's a fucking despicable being, it enchants men. That's a grab attack. Don't get grabbed by that, by the way. It will fucking wreck your shit. What I like about it so much is that basically, even though it's a really disgusting being and stuff, and it'll, you know, kill you, obviously, it's basically charming you with its song, too. You know, whatever. So that's basically the overall, I feel, lore of the Demon of Song, which is I found to be really interesting. And if Hero was like, what were you doing, Falcon? Are you trying to taunt in the middle of a fight? Roll through. Okay. Roll through. Excellent. Good rolls, Falcon. I'm surprised. Oh, you're talking to myself in the third person, apparently. But yeah, Demon of Song, just stay close to her. She'll do one crazy attack where she'll go up in the sky and then cover a lot of the area of the battle area that you have over here. And it could be scary. Oof. I didn't see that one coming, and look at that HP. Are you gonna heal? You're not gonna heal, alright. This guy, I guess I'm going, yeah, I guess I was a little bit too confident. That could have killed you right there, Falcon. Is this really how I'm gonna do it? Apparently I did, yeah. I wanted to be extra ballsy about the whole situation, but there you go, Demon of Song. Not really a tough individual, but it hits like a ton of bricks, so just keep that in mind. And I think that's gonna wrap it up, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys next time. Yeah, bow. Yeah, do some praying. I'll catch you guys next time.